Hello, everyone. This is Josh Lewis reporting to you live from the internet to tell you that you need to rate, review, and subscribe to this great podcast on whatever app that you're using. So that could be the one you're using right now, the one you're thinking about using, the one you haven't heard of, or maybe even Stitcher. You can choose any of those, and you can rate, review, and subscribe to them. And this isn't because we're egotistical maniacs that just need your affection or else we can't get out of bed every day. No, it's for an algorithm so more creepy kids can hear us. And that way, we form a whole community, an army, and then we take back what is rightfully ours. Have a nice day. You are now listening to Letters from Camp Blood,
a retrospective look at the horror and genre films from the VHS era by two comedians that don't know what they're talking about. Hello again, everybody. You're listening to Letters from Camp Blood. I'm your junior woodchuck counselor, Rob Hot Sauce Haynes. Alongside me in Salem's Lot, as always,
is your MoviePass stockholder, Joshua Lewis.
Mr. Motherfucking Moneybags, Josh Lewis.
The amount of MoviePass shares that I bought 2 years ago would have been worth $1 billion, and now it's worth $70.
Wow, 70. I pumped in a gracious $40.
Nice.
And the last time I checked, I was $13. I made it to $13, and it has not budged in weeks. It has stayed at 2 cents a share, which I'll track right now just to hurt my feelings. Oh, and by the way, this is our special guest, Jon Burr.
Oh, hey!
Before we go
from Rival Movie Podcast.
From Rival, yes.
I would also say yours is more of a film connoisseur and a bad mall food connoisseur
That's right.
podcast.
Yes. It's called Food Court with friend of the show, Sean Parrott. And you guys are kind of an inspiration to us.
Aw.
I mean, we
should
don't
have aimed way fucking higher.
Yeah, I mean, we can't actually do it in the Salem's trailer parking lot, but we try. Food Court is almost as trashy.
Yeah,
as our current locale.
It's just there's no tourists here at Salem Lots, and that's I'm okay with that.
What do you call girls when they come here? Are they not tourists? Because they ain't staying long.
I call them incredibly sad and disappointed.
Lost, looking for shelter.
You ever get any night walkers, knock on the door? People here?
You know what? We've been here pushing 2 years, and we've only had one guy. And it was creepy because he came to the back door, which admittedly is the door we use primarily because that's where all the cars are.
Yeah.
But our front door is on the street.
Yeah, because you guys are like the model home of the trailer park.
That's exactly what I thought it was when we moved into the place. Because it's right next to the office. It's the nicest trailer.
Yeah.
It was like okay, this is they're gonna show me this, and then when I actually go look at the real trailer, it's gonna have holes
I figure
in it.
you get Honduran families knocking on the door constantly. Is this the model trailer?
Whenever there is a vacancy, we will usually get during the day a couple knocks on the door asking if we're the office, and we are not. You
need to change your routine there and be like, absolutely, we're the office. And you know what? We're running a special right now.
Yeah.
For $120 or pesos, you can have a chance to live in this trailer park.
Clearly, you've not met the people that knock on these doors. $125 is a bit of a pipe dream.
Okay, let's take it down. Let's take it down. If you can just get a $25 deposit,
donation,
you too can live in Salem's Lot.
We did have this one guy come in the middle of the night on a random Thursday, knock on the door. Very, very hobo-y. Not that there's anything wrong with that.
He could be an entrepreneur then.
I believe that's what he was, or he was claiming to be. He wanted a ride up the road to the hotel. Or sorry, the motel, because I think hotel might be a little glamorous.
Once more, Rob, you just say, for the low price of $25, you too can live inside this home for one night.
Well, he had a canvas tool bag with him, which...
Oh, dear God.
Yeah, screams murder.
Yeah.
And the thing was he wanted to ride because apparently he, quote, had been working all day, and he didn't have a car, wanted to get the rest of, he'd already...
I'm done walking.
Yeah. Apparently he claims he had done several trips with his power tools and was just too tired to go and wanted us to give him a lift. And friend of the show, Carter Glasscock, also one of my roommates, we were crowded around the door. If you've never been inside Salem's Lot, there's like weapons on the wall all over the place. Literally, we were all grabbing them and hiding in the shadows while Carter was talking to this guy.
Did you have nunchuck or axe?
I had the axe. My other roommate had the sword.
Oh, okay.
Like we were ready.
Did he get
to
both
bounce.
swords, or just did he leave one on the wall?
Well, you got to leave something.
Okay,
you got to leave something. You got to be able to go somewhere.
Backup sword.
Shit goes south.
Whenever the scene turns into more kicking and stuff, you want to be able to kick up and kick that sword off the wall, catch it,
nice.
then you impale.
You want a clutch Jean-Claude Van Damme-esque hiding place.
That's it. Absolutely.
But,
I mean, within arm's reach in this house, you can get some sword, kabuki mask, or whisk.
Yes,
it's a very open floor plan.
Yeah, as we live a very open lifestyle.
Yes, you do.
So we went and saw again, breaking format a little, which I guess we're trying to do a little more often now.
Yeah, just trying to have fun.
Yeah, God fucking forbid. Yeah.
Are you? Well, we did see a movie about God fucking forbidding. So
yeah,
that's true.
Oh, yeah.
We went and saw the fifth of the Conjuring series, the as I like to call it, the fucking cash grab of the series, because this movie made a shit ton of money this weekend. We went and saw The Nun.
Yeah. So spoilers. If you like that first part about what it's like to live in a trailer, well, the rest of it's just going to be us talking about a movie that you possibly haven't seen, and we're going to tell you all about it. So there you go.
Yeah.
Spoil. If you don't like that anymore, thank you for
downloading.
downloading.
Like it, none like hell.
Oh, snap. All right.
Let's set off that pun gun. Give me some more nun puns. What should the tagline have been? What was the tagline for this movie?
Was there one? I think it's just The Nun. And
this is another Conjuring movie.
Yeah. Please give us $12.
Yeah. Being like, hey, did you see that painting in the last Conjuring movie? Well, we made a whole goddamn movie about it.
So can you guys fill me in? Because I did not see Conjuring 2. Please forgive me.
Conjuring 2 was okay. It wasn't quite as good as Conjuring, but frankly, the first Conjuring really had no business being as great as it was.
Right.
It was just like a studio horror movie. Came out of Halloween. Conjuring 2 was the first proper sequel. They did the two Annabelle movies, which again were better than they probably should have been.
I never watched either one of those.
I've only seen The Conjuring. That's it.
Okay.
And I think I'm lower on The Conjuring than most people.
I am a little bit too, because I have no problem with The Conjuring.
Me neither.
To me, it was just a remake of the Amityville Horror. That's the only thing.
Yeah, which they kind of touch on a little bit because the Warren family also investigated the Amityville thing. I don't think they ever intended for this to be the franchise that it has become.
No.
I don't know. This comes from the Saw people. I'm pretty sure they will franchise anything like it's a Burger King.
I'd imagine the executives, as soon as they saw money, they're like, oh, we got to crank out 17 more of these things. Which is, not to get from the files of how Rob Haynes has never kissed a girl, but this movie, actually, the nun from this movie makes an appearance in The Conjuring 2, which, the beginning of The Conjuring 2, you get a little bit of Amityville, like the pre-credit sequence is the Amityville Horror, which is cheap and tawdry, but not for nothing. The Warrens, like the family, like everybody's like, oh, this is all based on a true story. Yeah, based on a true story of two paranormal quote investigators quote that are also in real life hucksters and con men.
Yeah, I'd rather see that movie, honestly.
Yeah, I would love to see like a truthful version of it.
Let's see the BS, fake.
Yeah.
Like, I'd love to see that. Like, give me the what was that Leonardo the Catch Me If You Can?
Yeah.
of carny horror hucksters.
And you could do that, and you could put like Houdini was a big during that movement at the turn of the century. Was fucking infuriated by it.
Yeah, he was trying to get after those. That was his whole bag, was exposing those people.
Yeah, well, because that was the beef between him and Sir Arthur Conan Doyle was he was very much into his mom in a probably an unhealthy way, and these spiritualists are like, we can connect you with your mom, and then he's like a magician, so he's like, yeah, you're just knocking underneath the table, like, fuck you, you're exploiting people,
right?
And then old Sherlock Holmes boy was turbo into it and big believer, and that fractioned their whole friendship.
What?
Yeah.
I didn't think I'd learn something.
Yeah, again, never kissed a girl, a lot of free time.
By the way, I've been trying to find you a theme song for that segment of Rob Haynes has never kissed a girl. Mm-hmm. I've failed. I've failed
fine.
miserably. I had something downloaded. I can't find it.
I'm pretty sure you can take any song from Rob Haynes' current Spotify playlist and just throw it out there, and it'll all
I do.
make sense.
I do very much have the Spotify playlist of a 12-year-old boy. But no, okay. So like the nun, okay, like
Played by the bum from Mulholland Drive, which I think is amazing.
yeah, that's great.
I mean, yeah, I think her name's Bonnie Adams, and she is a frightful woman. Mm-hmm. Angular.
Like, she is. That I will go as far as say like there's a lot visually very scary. This movie reminded me a lot of being in like one of those haunted houses they put up at Halloween. Not a lot of story. They tried a little, but then it's just mostly to set up a shit ton of jump scares.
I feel like this movie is going to get pilloried for the reasons that I liked it, and the reasons that I liked it are the reasons it's going to fail.
I don't know if it's failed because again, it made
It's making money.
It made like 130 last weekend.
Holy schmaltz.
It's making all the fucking money.
Wow.
But
We did have a bad turnout today, but I guess we were an early Thursday viewing.
yeah, I was gonna say we went 1 o'clock on a fucking Tuesday.
See, I thought,
And there were
did
still
you-
like
by the
that-
way,
there were still
by the
9
way,
people. There were
I
still
thought
9
it was
people.
Thursday.
You really thought it was Thursday?
And the reason this podcast is starting a little late, Josh had to take me to go get drug tested, so that's where
Yeah.
we're at.
that
Yeah.
happened. That
This
absolutely
is a
happened.
pretty good
So you-
start to the
so you-
podcast.
So you didn't have to go today.
You may be onto something.
Okay, no, okay, because here's the thing. Like, when we get to the theater, Burr is already in line at the concession stand buying the 2 of the giantest fucking drinks that they fucking have.
Uh-huh.
I asked for a small Coke.
Yeah. And he gets you, like, the half-gallon bucket. Mm-hmm. And then I was wondering, I was like, well, that's an awful
Gentlemen.
lot of beverage to be downing in a sitting.
Rob, there's a subtle perfection in everything I do. And I knew. Josh asked me to get him a small Coke, and he's like, I'll pay you back. I knew, okay, I can pay this forward. Check this out. I'll get him a large Coke and a large popcorn, and then after the movie, ask him to drive me to take me to go get drug tested.
And then because you've also had the giant fucking Coke, you've got one on deck.
That's absolutely right. I probably had 2 on deck. Ooh. Speaking of
He's the
on
one
deck, Josh's stomach during the viewing of this film was making some of the most horrific sounds I've ever heard.
Oh yeah, it's because
You had stuff on deck.
Yeah, I was fighting back diarrhea the entire time.
Your butthole was twitching like a rabbit's nostril. How did you not? I guess that shows you this just wasn't that scary of a film.
No, it didn't. I
if
barely
you didn't have a
jumped.
squirt or 2.
No, my butthole.
Especially, again, with all the jump scares, nothing.
Nothing. Not even a fart. Well, I didn't want to. If I'd let one of those out, then possibly it could have been real bad.
This movie failed as a horror film, I think, in that regard. But where it succeeded is I thought the visuals were really cool.
The imagery was really nice.
Yeah, very pretty. Whoever directed this movie, and I wish I would have looked that
Corin
up.
Hardy, I think is his name.
If he does not currently...
Did you see
should-
The Hallow? That was his breakout movie.
Okay.
That's
yeah.
him.
I was going to say he would direct the fuck out of music videos.
Right.
Yeah, because the nun looked like Marilyn Manson circa 1996 anyway.
Right. I loved the just like, all right, we're going to put dry ice everywhere.
Every fucking...
Oh, well, see, there's another thing about the Conjuring movies, and I guess about a lot of modern horror movies or the big studio horror movies, is that everything has a neon backdrop lit type thing going on. So they're walking through the woods, and there's like blue neon in the sky. They're in a church, and then all of a sudden the stained glass windows turn a bright red neon.
Everyone is comparing it to Hammer horror films, but I'm pretty sure that no one has actually seen those movies.
I see where they are coming from, because for the first act, and I wasn't even necessarily thinking Hammer horror, but the whole first act...
Wait. Hammer horror. What's that?
Peter Cushing, Christopher Lee, Dracula.
In the 50s through the early 70s.
We're talking about like the first colorized ones.
Yeah.
Okay,
There was a
these are
studio in England called Hammer that essentially just remade all the Universal horror movies, but way more bloody and fucked up.
Huge pricks who don't want to admit that they just like seeing people get murdered like to refer to the Hammer horror films as their like zeitgeisty horror films that they like that's like, oh, it's all about, you know, like not gore but like incredible art direction. Like it's kind of like the asshole horror fans. If they say they like
I will go as
Hammer
far as
horror.
say I am a big Hammer horror fan, but I also
Present company included.
fuck off. What was I going to say? Oh yeah, go fuck yourself. No, I like those movies for the exploitive reasons that everybody will not admit that they like those movies for. Like I enjoy a titty. I enjoy watching somebody get bit in the neck.
Right. I like the Hammer horror films in theory. I just don't like it when that's the type of horror film that when a person won't admit to just liking a good old-fashioned slasher movie.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You don't have to like. I'm more of a Hammer horror films person. It's like, no, you're an asshole. I don't believe you, and I don't believe you've seen as many as you said you've seen either.
Yeah.
Not Rob, but this hypothetical horror asshole
this
I'm making up.
Yeah, I love slasher movies.
Yeah,
Yeah.
slashers.
You would actually really dig. I got some DVDs you can borrow.
Okay, well, some of those come on what is it, American Horror and things like that. On Roku, there's just like these
Oh yeah.
channels that or apps, I guess you would call them.
There are many, many, many of them.
Yeah, and there's some are straight up unwatchable, and not just because they're bad movies. It's because the transfer over is horrendous.
Well, some of them, like I said, the Hammer output, they were a machine like Roger Corman's production company was a machine, like AIP was. Like, they cranked that shit the fuck out. And they were operating at about the same time.
But the worst Hammer picture probably looks better than the best Roger Corman picture.
Yeah, well, yeah, I mean, some of those Poe ones you could like definitely throw in there.
Yeah, the Vincent Price, there's some legitimately good Hammer horror movies.
Yeah.
And I think this is going to get a lot of
Vincent
comparisons.
Price was the Hammer horror?
He was in a bunch of them.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, so, I mean, I've seen all the Poe stuff.
You, sir?
Well, that's the
have
Roger
seen
Corman
Hammer
movies.
horror.
Oh, that's.
Have you
Roger
ever seen like not the Peter Cushing? Who played Dracula?
Christopher Lee.
Christopher Lee Dracula.
Maybe.
Okay.
I'm not totally sure.
He's got the super deep voice. Ended up playing Saruman in Lord of the Rings movies. Nothing.
No, it's not ringing a bell, but I know who Sarah
I dig your style.
Thank you. Thank you. When people were zigging, I was zagging.
Well, you were like, let me see Hellraiser 3.
Yeah, absolutely. That's basically what it was.
Like, this movie actually, it did, like, for the first act, reminded me of, like, okay, this is in the Conjuring universe and what have you, but this director desperately wants this to be fucking Dracula.
Yeah.
But I was thinking more like the Bela Lugosi Dracula, which it's interesting you just bring up the Hammer things. But now that you bring up Hellraiser, I wanted to ask Josh Lewis this.
Sure.
When every time, like the two times we watched a Hellraiser movie, you've been a little queer about it. You've been a little.
I was
Clive Barker reference?
Yeah. I was kissing a dude.
Yeah. No, like you've been a little like, oh shit.
Yeah,
hell.
I'm afraid to go to hell. Yeah.
How'd this one make you feel? Seeing as it was
fine. This one didn't scare me a bit.
I'm not. There's not one fucking Jesus in all of Hellraiser.
I know.
Not one.
Yeah, but that seems, I don't know, the scary monsters in that seem like something that could come from hell. This just seems like Marilyn Manson dressed in a fucking nun's outfit.
Yeah.
This
that's
is a Marilyn
because
Manson video.
Hellraisers are great horror movies. This is like...
Shut your fucking mouth.
You don't like Hellraisers?
Hellraiser 1, Hellraiser 2, perfectly acceptable. Oddly enough, the most recent directed video Hellraiser, okay.
I will not have Cenobite slander in my presence. Hellraiser 3, you get CD. The one that shoots CDs out of his eyeballs or whatever. Come on.
Is that hell on earth?
That's good trash.
Where's the one where everybody's playing a video game and then all of a sudden, oh shit, it's real.
That's what I'm talking about. That's the horror I'm down for.
I thought that was brain scan.
That was brain scan.
That's
it was a Hellraiser.
Yeah, that's VHS box horror. That's what I'm about.
Yeah, I go back and forth with it. A lot of these I've slept through in my life. Or a lot of these have just been me flipping it over, watching it for like 10, 15 minutes and go, oh yeah, my other show's on. Then I click it.
Rob touched on something while we were watching the movie where he was
Your
like,
penis.
he leaned over and, well, hey now. He leaned over and said, this movie has no idea what it wants to be. And I think he's on
Nailed
to
it.
something. 'Cause there was like
Absolutely
Evil
nailed it.
Dead stuff.
At
There
different
was,
points, I said it can't decide if it wants to be Dracula, The Exorcist, or The Evil Dead.
Right.
They did have a lot of nods to The Exorcist, down to the priest that was wearing the exact same clothes, and he was always, every time he had that little fedora hat on, he was always a silhouette.
Yeah.
And you couldn't see his face.
He was the box from The Exorcist. He
Absolutely.
was the movie poster of The Exorcist.
There was some executive that just went, you have to do this. And the director went, oh, God.
James
damn it."
Wan.
Yeah. You got to continuously.
James like, don't fuck the gravy train up, son.
And then, okay, so I guess we should explain the movie. There's a nun, I guess, that's bothering other nuns, which makes no sense. And the nun that's cooped up underneath a monastery in Romania.
This is all patently false, but all awesome.
Yes.
This is Josh's version.
Yeah. If you want me to give a quick synopsis of this so you can tear me apart, I'm totally fine with it.
Well, the nun is the nun that you see from The Conjuring 2. And then,
in the painting. And then
which quick aside from there, again, I've never touched a lady. Apparently in The Conjuring 2, they pretty much had that movie completely shot. And then James Wan had this idea for the nun. This is the first.
Nice.
Well, no, this is the first anything in The Conjuring world that it was not based on a pre-existing case. Like the case from The Conjuring was a thing that was actually happened. Annabelle is an actual doll. The second Conjuring is actually based on the Enfield poltergeist haunting.
Yeah.
The Nun was literally just like a fever dream he had, and they
Wait.
They inserted it into reshoots. Like the
See,
idea
it was
of the
shoehorned
nuns
in there.
Yeah, it got
So you're
shoehorned.
telling me there was no nun that came straight from hell?
There was no evil hell nun. No,
What?
sorry.
Exactly.
Well,
And
that kind of invalidates the experience.
And that
doesn't
was
it?
loosely explained too. So Rob had to. What did you do, Rob? Where did you go during the whole backstory of how the nun got here?
Rob
do you
Haynes
mean?
realized that this movie was about to have the most Rob Haynes scene ever and couldn't
Yeah.
handle it and ran away.
Yeah.
Did. No, I took a shit. That's what happened. Something had happened. It was like a midway point through the movie. I was like, I don't think anything important is going to happen right now. Just the way the thing is paced. So I was like,
Let me tell
I'm
you
gonna
what
go
happened.
I'm going to go take a dump and get a Dr. Pepper.
Let me tell you what happened while you were exorcising the demons. Literally, a Vlad Tepes Dracula type person was revealed to have been the owner of the nunnery.
Fuck you.
He was killing nuns, dropping their blood into the pentagram form like you do. Then what
In the
can
basement.
only be described as a blood version of a tar baby comes out of the
happened.
ground.
It's true.
At the moment the blood baby is about to like realize its true form, crusaders spill in.
Not just a
Of
little.
course
bit.
they fucking do.
Crusaders with giant claymores spill in and chop everyone into bits and take over the nunnery. That's what you missed. You
Oh.
missed a Glenn Danzig video.
I was
Yeah.
just about to say, is like the only response I can give you that is a blistering guitar solo.
Yeah, dude.
It's fucking awesome.
Yeah. it's
Hallowed
so
be
cool.
thy name. Comes on the soundtrack. I wish that part happened.
If they would have made the whole movie that about the Crusaders coming in, and then you
And it looked
had
awesome.
Vlad the Impaler, and then you had the rituals and all this stuff, then yeah, this movie would have been probably one of the best things I've seen since Hereditary. But
I
instead,
mean-
it was just a nun.
This movie had potential, but yeah, the whole.
It was fine. I mean,
I thought at the end when I thought the nun was turning into like Dagon, I was like, "Is this Lovecraft shit?" I mean, this is, and it had a little bit of a sense of humor, although that may have held it back at
I
times.
think so because like most of the humor comes from this character of Frenchie,
Yeah.
who did not need to
which
be in the
is
movie.
simple. It's so stupid to begin
Yeah.
with.
pretty likable actor, I thought though.
Yeah, he did a great job.
He's a very watered down Ash Williams. Like he desperate,
Extremely.
even like he's trying to hit on women and wielding a shotgun. Like, but he does not fit in the movie at all.
No.
Like it's just like like eventually we have to like okay, at one point he's there to make stupid jokes. So at the beginning he's trying to fuck a nun because he doesn't know she's a nun.
Can't we all?
That's good gag, man.
Yeah.
Or possibly
That's
the most forced fucking thing I have ever seen since that rat at the end of Departed was the line where at a certain point they have to get this relic that contains the blood of Christ to stop the evil nun.
The
Yeah.
Departed, starring Verissa Farmiga,
Holy fuck.
who is the mother of the star of this movie, Thaisa Farmiga.
Who
Well.
is also the star of the Conjuring movies.
Oh, was she in those?
She plays Elizabeth Warren.
No, that's her mom.
That's what I was in.
Okay, yeah. Is this the first appearance of Thaisa Farmiga?
Yes, it is.
So is she somehow related to the mom of the
I'm sure they're
Conjuring?
going to find a way.
Okay.
I'm sure they're going
Yeah,
to
they're
find a
gonna
way.
cram
Because
that
this whole thing, like they even tried to tie it into the beginning of the first movie. I'm not going to tell you
Right.
how, but this whole thing just feels very.
I'll tell you
shoehorned.
how, the devil.
Yeah. Obviously.
But yeah, Frenchie is a character
Big up.
who, I mean, he's got a pretty bad habit, you might say,
No.
of being, he's like the village idiot.
Yeah.
And also serves as like the widest, Frenchest version of Scatman Crothers from The Shining that you could ever have.
Yep.
But see, this is why Stanley Kubrick was a genius and whoever this guy was is not a genius, because this Scatman don't die.
No, he
No,
doesn't
you
die.
want him to. God, you want him
That
to.
would've been
He's the
awesome.
fucking Shelley of this
Nobody
fucking
died.
movie.
Nobody died in this whole fucking movie.
Yeah.
Except for the nun at the
Nameless
beginning.
nuns.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, they were
But
already
they were
dead.
already dead.
Good point.
The two nuns at the beginning of the movie, the only ones that died.
Yeah, the one lady that got sucked in there and went, "Hey, only thing you got to do is lock this door," and the girl just went, "Ah," and just ran.
Yeah.
They should have killed Demian Bashir, who I can't help it. Like, you can't name that character Anthony Burke. At least make it like Antonio Burchetti or something.
Yeah.
I mean, it just pulls you out of the experience a little bit because he speaks with the Bob the Mexican accent from goddamn from the latest Tarantino. He speaks in
Yeah.
that accent the whole time. He's like, "I think this is a Conjuring."
Yeah, yeah. I found him to be where he had to just explain things.
Yeah.
Where I think they figured the audience would be so stupid that they would have to. So at one point, he goes out to investigate something in a creepy graveyard, as you do in these movies.
Right.
And he has the best lantern in the world because he drops it like
So
3
many
times.
fucking
and that
lanterns in this movie.
Oh, and none of them
Jesus.
ever go out. It's this should be whoever.
Halogen lantern.
Yes, it's amazing.
The budget for carpal tunnel syndrome surgery of people's shoulders, just holding that fucking lantern on this movie, must have eaten most of the budget.
This
Once
movie
again-
had a massive budget.
Huge.
It
Yeah.
looked
Oh
great.
yeah. It looked amazing.
So
it is very pretty. When it comes out on Blu-ray, rent the fuck out of it.
Yeah. And so the priest goes out, and he was like, hey, what's in this graveyard? And there's a lot of boogers and ghosts and goblins messing with him and stuff. And he just kind of takes it. And
Can you change the podcast name to Boogers and Ghosts and Goblins?
But they're just fucking with him. And he's out there with plenty of smog or smoke or whatever
Dry
that
ice.
shit. Dry ice. Tons of dry ice smoke.
Just a bunch of people smoking menthols.
Yeah, neon lights all over the sky. And somehow he gets knocked into an empty grave, gets instantly covered up because this demon, even though they say it's not
Because
at full
this demon
strength,
saw Evil Dead.
yeah, exactly.
That
Even though they
idiot.
say this demon is not at full strength enough to take over a young girl's body, so it can become the embodiment of the devil or something, or hell on earth, or I don't.
Valak or whatever.
Yeah, whatever it was
They,
saying.
they stopped just short of saying it's the devil.
Yeah.
Which there's also a fucking cop-out that they used in The Exorcist. Like, it's not
Yeah.
the devil. It's this other demon.
And so he falls in there.
Fuck you,
instantly.
it's the devil.
Absolutely. So he gets to ring a little bell until she comes out there.
Now-
By the way,
Is that a thing I'm supposed to know about? The bells?
yeah? Say by the bell. That's where it came from.
Yeah, well, they do explain it very,
Really?
very quickly at the beginning of the movie when you see
Fill
the
me
first
in. I'm
one.
really stupid.
So during the plague, people would just kind of get sick, and some of them could recover. So they started burying on accident, like people that are just in a high state of coma.
That's
so
some
next
pretty
thing,
low quality control on your undertaking there, pal.
absolutely.
Oh, yeah.
Well, that's back in the day. They just put a mirror underneath your nose, and they would get foggy. So they're like, chuck him in the fucking ground.
Yeah.
And then
They
for
could at
some
least
odd
put a
reason-
leech on you.
yeah, anything. And then they started digging up graves, and I'm not real sure why they started digging them up, and just started seeing there was tons of them that just had claw marks, and people like,
Well, no, people would have like dreams about like, oh, my aunt or my cousin or whatever, he's alive, and they'd go in the middle of the night and dig up a grave because that's rational.
Yeah.
But then they would see like the innards of the top of the coffin all fucked up and scratched, and then people like down to their bones scratching trying to get out.
yeah.
So
Let's make this movie.
Yeah, no kidding.
there's an awesome episode of Lore on Amazon, the Amazon series, about exactly this. Because that's the only thing is like this was traditionally an American thing, was the bells, but they shifted it over to
Romania for some fucking reason.
And Romania, that was a poor enough country. Like if you got in the ground, you were doing great. Let alone
Yeah, they just
with a
probably-
fucking cell phone.
Yeah, leave you out there for goat food or something.
Yeah.
But yeah, so he gets knocked in there, and he has the little bell.
Yeah.
He's
got that
ring-a-ding-a-ding.
bell, and he's ringing the shit out of it.
ringing the shit out of it, and then she comes over there, and this nun girl that is apparently of age, I guess
Oh, yeah.
they say in the movie, there's no way. This girl's like 12 years old. There's a scene at the first where she's teaching children,
Yeah.
and I thought she was just another child.
I think she's like 35.
You're shitting me. That woman is 35 years old.
I think she's at least in her 20s.
Her-
Well, no, 'cause-
What?
Well, here's the thing. Like, it kind of runs in her family because her mom was in The Departed, and she is smoking hot in The Departed, which I was, maybe 10 years ago, if that?
More than that,
Departed?
I
Yeah,
think.
probably more.
Okay. But even then, not that terribly long
She plays
ago.
Norman Bates' mother now.
Yeah,
She's
yeah.
like she's in her 40s.
Yeah, she plays
She's
Norman-
probably 50 years old.
Yeah. She's like, it's like she aged like a fine dairy product.
Look, man,
Yeah.
Hollywood will find a way. If you're too ugly, you just start playing the nun.
That's true.
Yeah.
I mean,
I will go as far as say I'm a little disappointed, like with Hollywood casting very hot people for roles that are clearly for ugly people. Like it started with Monster when they
I
uglied
feel
up
that.
Charlize Theron.
Yeah.
Like man, you could have found a homely looking woman that would have crushed that.
that's how you get Oscars, though, man. You destroy the beauty.
What if you already have no beauty? Like where the fuck?
That's how
Where do
you
I
get
go?
supporting actor Oscars,
Yeah.
man. You don't destroy the beauty.
And also, that's the reason why Steve Buscemi has never won an Oscar. Because he just
Ah.
gets chucked in there to be like the ugly dude, and it's like, hey, I'm smart.
well, when you look like Foreskin the person, it's hard to get those leading man roles.
I can smell something that smells bad when I see Steve Buscemi.
Yeah.
You know, I look at him and go,
Vinegar.
something stinks.
There's
And
been
then I'm
times.
like, no, yeah, vinegar.
There is a phenomenon that women are now finding old Steve Buscemi hot. I don't know if this is ironic or not. Often I'm confused by
Like,
the
you talking
internet.
about old Steve Buscemi as the younger man
No,
of yesteryear?
like present day Steve Buscemi is apparently hot.
like
somewhat.
chewed up piece of bubble yum Steve Buscemi.
Apparently, kind of.
Where are these women, and why haven't I met them?
You need to answer the door when those people knock on the trailer.
Ladies, if you're into old Steve Buscemi, clearly your standards are very low, and we'd like to hear from you at Bloodcamper on Twitter or lettersfromcampblood@gmail.com.
I thought we agreed. Now it's called Boogers, Ghosts, and Goblins.
Well,
I think that would be our gaming. Our gaming one.
You guys need to set up a Patreon and have a tier where Josh just calls you and says, Boogers, Ghosts, and Goblins.
Yeah. Boogers, ghosts, and goblins.
Boogers, Ghosts, and Goblins. Can we help you?
You've reached the line of boogers, ghosts, and goblins.
For boogers, press 1. For
Oh wait, let's get back to the part where I was telling
Doing a
everybody,
thing? Yeah.
yeah, how they made this movie for such dumb people,
Yeah. Right.
and they held nothing back on it. So, young girl goes and digs up man in grave. He's getting all messed up and tormented.
Impossible.
Very impossible because
she got him out of there fucking fast.
real quick.
They used fucking a backhoe to fill in a grave.
Yeah, the
Yeah,
tiniest
exactly.
of spades.
Yeah. And so she gets him up and out of there.
I
By
will-
the way, by stabbing
Yeah.
at the coffin knowing that he's in it.
Again,
She was just stabbing.
another blatant fucking Evil Dead shot.
Yeah. And so gets him out of there, and she's like, what's going on? He's like, I don't know. And they look in the coffin, and there's parts of a body and a bunch of old books and runes and stuff. And he goes, well, maybe those books will tell us.
I know, he
And I
said-
was like, what the fuck?
He said, we should read those books.
Yeah, that's what he did.
Which goes back to my theory: nothing good comes from reading.
Yeah, it's true. Because he just read and it made more demons come out, really.
Here's where I was troubled by that scene is, it was about with the time that I got up to go take a shit. Because I figured he had just got out of the thing. Nothing creepy is going to happen for a minute.
Rob goes, this is about to get so metal, I can't even handle it.
Yeah. I gotta go blow one out so I can handle all the metal.
God, Megadeth should have done the fucking soundtrack for this movie the same way AC/DC did the fucking
Maximum Overdrive.
Yeah, every note should have been fucking just a blistering fucking guitar solo.
I mean, that would have been pretty awesome.
But no, he gets out of his magic grave death, and their first response is, "Let's go back into this convent for the rest of the night."
Yeah, not even leave.
Yeah.
I mean, these people moved with purpose everywhere they went, despite having no purpose everywhere they went.
Yeah.
Because they move at a brisk pace from horror amusement park ride to horror amusement park ride.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was amazing to me that they just went, hey, we got this priest. The Vatican said, hey, let's bring in this priest that obviously has a troubled history. And we also have a girl that's not a nun, but we heard she had a vision once.
Troubled history.
Troubled history. Yeah, I was wondering where that was going for a little bit, because he was like, there was a young boy tied up in a bond. And I was like, oh, boy. Oh, no. Yeah, I know
And
where
then
this is going.
we dealt with him the way that the Catholic law allows. I was like, is he gonna fuck that boy?
Oh, dear, yeah. Did you diddle him, Damien?
I know you had to. He's like, I got to get the demon out of him.
You gotta get the demon out of yourself. What the hell?
They set up some jokes that they shouldn't have set up.
Oh, no, this one is if you want to bust on some pedophilia, you just watch this movie and you're all the way through it and you're going like, yeah, oh, yeah.
I will go so far as to say Baptists movies wouldn't be nearly as gnarly and scary.
No,
And this movie, for you to buy into the mythos of the film, you have to accept that apparently Catholicism is all real.
Sorry, Catholic friends out there.
So,
Say do your catechism tonight.
Yeah,
Yeah, exactly.
And if you're one of the members of my tribe, I guess we got to start over, guys. Clearly, the nun just proved us wrong.
Yeah.
I thought this movie was a piece of trash script, but I thought it was well acted and looked as good as it could.
It was
kinda.
very, very well executed, but like a lot of the movies that we watch, fucking leaves a lot to be desired plot wise.
Yeah. Oh, tons.
I could definitely see how it was shoehorned into the second Conjuring, just as a wow, wouldn't it be a fucked up visual to see this creepy nun? And then they're like, oh shit, we got to make a movie out of it.
What was it rated?
PG-13.
Probably
It had to be.
PG-13. Yeah, if it made that kind of money.
There was no boobs. There was no dirty talk. Nobody even said shit.
Oh yeah, they did.
Yes, they
They
said
said-
shit and they
They
said
said shit.
holy shit.
Yeah.
Remember?
Oh,
Yeah.
God.
that was the
fucking-
big gag.
That was okay.
Frenchie.
Yeah.
You erased that.
I did, because that was such a bad
That was
fucking
so
cornball
bad.
joke.
Frenchie, they discover the vial of Christ blood.
Yes.
And Frenchie says, holy shit, to which the priest's response is, the holiest.
The holiest.
Again,
I wanted to throw my
Just
65-liter thing of Coke Zero at that screen.
I'm surprised that's not when Rob got up to take a deuce.
No, that's when I was locked in.
Yeah.
Again,
Locked
it's like they just found the last 15 deleted pages from Army of Darkness.
That movie needed to embrace the gore because,
Yeah.
like, there were some shots like that. I mean, clearly Sam Raimi was a huge influence. Because
Yeah.
There were a lot of shots taken. I was like, man, this is like bringing me back to like Army of Darkness, Evil Dead 2. This is fun. But then it's just like, a kid would vomit up a snake, but he didn't vomit up a snake.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
The
I know
gnarliest
exactly.
shot was the fucking when they found the nun, obviously, at the beginning. Like, that was like set a pretty high bar that they failed to clear for the rest of the movie.
That is true. That is very true because you had. Okay, let's just get to it. They could have done a better job with this film altogether, from top to bottom. I didn't like the priest's acting, the Spanish guy. I didn't like.
How dare you get after
he,
Bob the Mexican as
Yes.
Anthony Burke?
he just phoned it in. Yes, that's what this is. Like, it was just so fucking cut and dry. And then you had the comic relief of Frenchie that I thought sucked.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden you had a girl that I was pretty sure was 12 years old, but everybody's trying to fuck her. And
Everybody's trying to fuck her. She's an American, but she was working at a convent in England.
Yes, there's
And
that.
I'll stop you right there. You know what it was fucking? I just now realized this whole movie takes place in the fucking Romania in the 50s.
And Frenchie
You know
opens the door and greets everyone with an English hello.
Yes.
There's not one fucking Romanian in this whole movie.
No.
No, there is. You might have missed it. There was a scene he was at a bar called something like the Bear's
Rob
Head.
missed it.
Yeah, you missed it. So he was at a bar. That's where he got the shotgun. Because some odd reason he just walked behind the bar and took a fucking shotgun, and
Yes,
nobody
Nobody
cared.
You know what? I miss every bar having a shotgun.
Yeah,
we
I
need to
think
bring
so.
that fucking tradition back.
We did. Well, they kind of do now. They're
This
just
movie
in
had
duffel
Chekhov's
bags.
Romanian shotgun.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
boy, they did use it.
It was pretty much him sitting at the bar being like, man, the shit I've seen. And then the bartender's like, hey, you see all those people crying over there? It's because their daughter hung herself. And he's like, whoa, that's pretty bad. And he goes, yeah, that evil's creeping out.
Guess I better go back to the
Yeah.
nunnery.
Click. Yeah, exactly. Give me that old-timey shotgun that I could go in here and shoot ghosts. It's a ghost gun.
I still don't know which nuns were real and which nuns weren't real.
None of them.
None of them were real.
None of them
were real.
None more none, eh?
No.
Yeah.
None your damn business. That's how many were real.
One was a demon, and the rest were
Ghosts.
visions. Yeah.
Yeah. Or, visions, I guess.
Did Bob the Mexican and Frenchie see the other nuns, or was she the only one seeing the nuns?
So I may have the answer to this.
Okay.
So she goes in to pray away the demon with all the other nuns that we
didn't
think are nuns.
exist.
That didn't exist. But as she's praying and she's getting pentagrams scratched on her, which that was pretty cool.
Mm-hmm.
And then all of a sudden, like a big wind comes in there and it throws the nuns everywhere, cracking and like breaking their backs and snapping their necks and shit. And she keeps on praying, and then eventually goes, "Oh, that's the priest at the door." Because the prayer is the only thing that slows down the evil.
Yeah, at the beginning.
But she
and
stops and goes, "Oh, there's a priest at the door."
No, because I did like this aspect of the movie. I thought that was really fucking cool.
Yeah.
Was at the beginning of the movie when she gets in. She's the only one who can. I think she's the only one who can see the nuns. To be honest with you, because like she goes in, they won't let the men in because it's a cloistered abbey. And the first nun she encounters is praying, and she goes to tap her on the shoulder, and another nun stops her and says that the nuns of that abbey have been praying for over 100 years straight because it keeps the evil at bay. So they should do it in shifts.
Yeah, so she gets up, she answers the door, and it's the priest, and she was like, "Boy, sorry about all these dead nuns back here. We were trying to keep the fucking demons away."
So one nun.
And they look over and go, "Well, they ain't nothing." And then
nuns.
Yeah, none.
Who's on first?
Yeah, not none.
I don't understand.
And then they go over, and there's like, oh, well, there's a sheet where obviously looks like a nun print.
Yeah.
So they're like, let's go ahead and pull that back. Oh, that nun's been dead forever.
Yeah,
Like,
that was like
never-
Maggie Smith from Hook was under that sheet.
Yeah.
Jessica Tandy.
Yeah, Jessica Tandy.
So what you're saying, sexy.
Yeah,
They pull it back. They pull it back, and they're like, well, shit. I mean,
All
you must
the
be-
reveals like that, the characters didn't make impact enough for me to remember what they looked like.
Yeah.
So every time they would pull back a sheet, be like, "It's a different nun." I was always like, "I can't tell the nuns apart."
Yeah, because they're all kind of they're
I'm a
all wearing the
nunist.
same clothes. Yeah, it's
yeah,
They're all. It's like you said. They were wearing the same fucking wardrobe, and none of them have enough lines or character for you to remember.
yeah. She was like, "That's Octavia," and I'm like, "Who the fuck is Octavia?"
yeah. Who,
That's Adala. It's like, well, no, you just made up that name.
Yeah, they set up.
Eat his peaches.
Yeah.
Yeah, I did not have any sympathy for a single character in this, including Frenchie, which I was like, he's got to die. Please kill him.
I mean, you're right. This movie has a problem. It doesn't kill people.
First and foremost, there's a big evil that
Yeah.
doesn't hurt anyone.
And that's epidemic in the movie business industry.
Yeah.
Fucks up a nun and a priest day.
Yeah,
But beyond
literally, this movie takes place over less than 48 hours.
Does it?
Yeah. Well, I mean, if
Is
you
it a
don't-
one crazy night movie?
It basically is.
It's a haunted house movie.
Well, I guess it's 2 nights, so I guess it's around 48 hours because they get there. They go, "Hey, Frenchie," and he goes, "Yeah, I'm the only person here that knows how to get to the place that I just moved to." It makes no sense. He just moved there, and he goes, "Yeah, I've been here for about 6 months, but I know all the ins and outs of the tortured woods."
At least the last Amityville horror movie I saw had the decency to like cut Owen Wilson's eyeball out and then kill him.
There you go.
Yeah.
That's what you need.
Yeah, you have to have that.
Again, they were setting up Frenchie to be so fucking hateable, and
I didn't hate him so much.
Hated him.
I think you got
fucking hated that guy.
Yeah.
And then they fucking give him the Jar Jar Binks ending, and that like you want him to die, but instead he becomes incredibly important.
That is true. He is the fulcrum
By
of
the
the
way,
universe.
Once they get there, so he's the one. So there's a nun that jumps out the window and hangs herself, so the evil can't embody her.
The beginning of the Omen.
At the beginning of the beginning of the Omen, absolutely.
No,
And-
she's the last nun there. And
Damian Bashir, it's all for you.
and just a whole lot of gooey stuff drips out of her for a while that won't dry up.
Oh.
Yeah.
Remember?
Yeah.
But the crows eat on her. And this is like a day or two. This is not like very long, but she's already
No, 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 it had
she's
been-
already embalmed.
Okay.
And like swinging.
It had
New
been
podcast. Boogers, Ghosts, and Goblins. Josh Lewis recaps horror movies.
Now,
I'll do it. I'll do it in a fucking heartbeat. But there's just
point
a
of
puddle
order.
of shit.
The point of order is the reason the puddle of shit was like so amazing or so perplexing to them was it took them weeks to get there because they had to go.
Yeah. That's what I'm saying. It just won't
London.
dry up.
Yeah, but I mean, as far as like the corpse being all fucked up and shit like
Yeah.
that, there was enough time for that to happen.
Yeah, well, at the beginning of the movie, Frenchie rides up, he sees her, and he's like, "Whoa!"
Yeah.
And like he takes all the supplies back because he just drops off supplies,
Yeah.
right? So you fast forward just a little bit, and the priest and the soon-to-be nun is outside Frenchie's trailer wherever he's living, right? That box he lived in,
Yeah,
next
he
to
did,
the chicken
his house
coop.
did have a very Salem's Lot vibe.
Yeah, this is a modern marvel of a trailer. I'll tell you that, Rob. This is a modular home. What makes a house a home? Mobility. And he just lived in a box, like a plywood box.
Yeah.
And right
He's
before,
also sitting on all that year's supply of sweet goods.
yeah,
Maybe
exactly.
Frenchie killed all these damn nuns.
There's a possibility. But
Keep all that hardtack for himself.
Nothing like
got all this
turkey and hardtack for a whole season.
But there's something that they never touched on again. So Frenchie goes and he finds the dead body, and then all of a sudden it just has this cut scene of just gallons of blood rushing down steps.
Yeah.
And then he wakes up like in a sweat, like, oh my God.
Can't have this movie without every reference to every other horror movie, apparently.
Exactly.
Yep.
And then it's just a knock on the door. He walks out fucking borderline nude in front of these people, and he hits on a girl several times. But they never go back to be like, he was having a vision.
Yeah, but he was having a vision that there was just something fucked up.
Yeah, but I mean, why even put it in? Can't you just have him just go to the door?
So that you can have that fucked up scene of a gallon of blood rushing down the steps.
I thought he was going to. Yeah, I guess so. But she could have had that. She's the vision haver.
She's the dream weaver.
She's the dream weaver.
She's the dream warrior.
Oh my God.
Why didn't they have any Nightmare on Elm Street references? That's for the Nun 2.
That has to be the Nun
Yeah.
too.
Two Nun 2.
Yeah.
Too Nun, too furious.
Yeah.
Sister Act 3, Nun 2.
Fuck yeah.
Where was Whoopi? Whoopi's pretty scary looking.
What
I
if
have
Whoop-
been watching
no,
the view. I've
what
been
if
watching the
Whoopi was
shit out of
the-
Antenna TV, by the way.
Yeah,
Yeah.
That HD antenna is no joke.
Oh yeah, it's great. I'm gonna get a
Sometimes it
better
looks
one.
better than my horribly expensive HD.
I'm thinking about getting an Amazon Fire TV box thing that comes with a 4K antenna, which I don't know what they show on 4K on Fox.
Titans
I was
games.
gonna say Titans
Hell
games.
yeah.
A lot of Judge shows.
But I would love to see. I would love to see every pore of Judge Joe Brown's
Judge
face.
Judge Mike Munchak.
Oh boy, has he even got a job now? Oh, well,
Oh, I'm sure. That Good Old Boys Network. of coaching. We
doing
can't talk
stuff.
about this
Derek
on your horror
We can't.
podcast.
That's the reason why I was like, I'm sorry I asked.
I was gonna say that Derek Dooley got a job the next season.
You ain't kidding.
Oh, he had a job within minutes. He just probably walked out of the UT office and somebody went, "Hey, do you want?"
I'm pretty sure
menial
Jerry
job?"
Sandusky just walked right into another job. Actually,
Well, yeah, I mean,
that's the
in
guy
the
who
prison
ran-
kitchen.
That's what I was thinking. Yeah, it's called trustee.
that's what you watch The Longest Yard now, and you think of like the coach on the football team in The Longest Yard, and now you're like, oh God, what did he do? Maybe. Oh dear.
How did he get there?
What was What was caretaker in for? R.I.P. Burt Reynolds. Sorry.
You know, almost if the Nun hadn't came out, I was going to try to talk you in. We may still do it. Talk you into us having a Burt Reynolds eccentric one because didn't he have one horror movie, right? Was
Deliverance.
It Gator? Oh, Deliverance is kind of horror filled. Yeah,
Oh,
because
it's horrific. Squeal.
yeah, Squill like Ned Beatty.
Beatty.
Yeah.
Beatty works.
Ned Beatty. It was pretty good. You do have a lot of aspects of The Hills Have Eyes.
Oh yeah, it was great. It was
Tons.
very I'm a big fan, and I will never not talk about Smokey and the Bandit when given an opportunity.
Yeah,
Damn
so
right.
I mean,
I'd hate for us to take a hard turn into just genre films and not just stick with the horror that we've already been here.
I think we could take a meander to other like exploitation.
I think
type
Deliverance fits.
things. I think Deliverance fits
Yeah.
too.
I mean, that's a movie that sticks with you, and that's the type of horror that we can all relate to, which is hillbilly horror.
Absolutely, yeah.
It's the horror of having things put in your butthole. Like there's never like
Body horror.
Why did they
Yes.
go straight to rape? I wonder. Why did they go straight to
the
butt
same
fucking
reason
Ned
the
Beatty?
same reason they do it in jail. It's about dominance, not about sexuality.
Oh, so it's like whenever a dog humps your leg, it's
Yeah.
not because it's horny for your leg.
well, I mean, it's art-
because it wants to show you who the fuck's boss around here. Small beagle.
kinda. That's like I mean, if you
I think you're onto something there.
no,
I think it just broke.
if you start poking around into like true crime stuff, for the most part, when people do commit rapes, it's about power, less about sex. Like, even
We're back
men on
into
women.
Rob's No Sex Corner with his true crime books.
I was sitting the other day in my room full of skulls. Not a joke. Reading
That's true. I've been in there.
reading a true crime book. No, yeah, it's mostly like an authority type thing, not about actually getting off.
I don't know. When you see Ned Beatty in the nude, you get
Oh, yeah.
sprung.
It's true. Whenever he pops down to those tidy whities and gets on all fours, and you're like, oh.
Ned Beatty's a guy who's had a lot of great performances, but that might be his most real. That's like better than Network.
I wonder
Yeah.
if
It almost like
Network
makes me
one was
question. It's
really
like
good.
like they were shooting the scene.
Right.
And they're like, okay, we're going to have this fake rape scene. Everything's going to be fine. And then they just grazed his butthole once.
Dude, apparently, it was a pretty it got a little too real. I've heard that Beatty was legitimately enraged.
Really?
But maybe
maybe they did touch his
maybe that was
butthole.
all method acting. I don't know.
Can I say that, like, back in the 60s and 70s, whenever film was just jumping out of, like, you know, like, almost like plays that were just taped.
Yeah.
You know, and they started really, like, getting into making movies, that a lot of those directors and stuff would be like, hey, we need you to look like you've been tortured, so we're going to torture you.
Yeah.
And, I mean, that's Texas Chainsaw's infamous for
Cannibal
that.
Holocaust?
Oh, God.
Have y'all done that episode?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
I've not listened to that.
Yeah, there's-
and
it's-
will not.
It's a lot of this.
Yeah, did you watch Cannibal Holocaust?
I'm afraid that I have.
Yeah.
And I feel complicit now. You watch that and you feel like you are now
Like you've done something.
You're an accomplice to a crime.
Yeah, I feel like I felt so bad after that.
Yeah, you can't unsee that.
No. And Rob, you watch that once a year.
Give or take, yeah.
At Thanksgiving,
Thanksgiving.
Just when the family's around,
Yeah, when
like
you-
together.
So you've introduced me to
you
so
watch
much.
Cannibal Holocaust and you have some turtle soup.
Oh, boy.
Damn shame.
Shelly, no.
They're not damn shame what they did to that capybara.
That fucking muskrat, man. That's
Yeah.
the one it got me. That's the one it just hurt my feelings. Where I just went, they chopped.
Because you seem like the type of guy who had a dog named Muskrat.
But, yeah, Muskie.
Yeah.
He was Musket, but
This is my dog Blackie and my dog
Muskrat,
Muskrat.
yeah. Midnight and Muskrat.
Midnight. Oh, yeah.
Somebody had a cat named Midnight.
I had a neighbor who had a dog named Bear.
Oh, yeah. Bear's a good one, too.
Bear's a great one, and then Bear died, so we had another dog named Bear too.
Oh, yeah. Then he had a son named Bear Bryant. You go to Alabama, every dog and son is named Bear.
Bear.
It's my dog Bear and my son Bear.
Yeah, because I guess naming your dog Nick Saban ain't as good. Nicholas.
It'll happen. Saban.
Oh, yeah.
Saban. That's going to be an Alabama name.
Saban?
Saban.
Yeah.
Saban.
It's
Oh,
going to
yeah.
be a girl's name.
Oh yeah, it's my daughter Sabin.
Yeah.
Oh God, that poor. She's gonna.
This is Sabin. This is Tide.
No,
Yeah.
she's gonna
Tied.
she's gonna get down there and she's gonna get passed around a frat house like a pack of cigarettes.
This is my daughter Sabin. This is my other daughter Tide. This is my newest son, Gene Stallings' handicapped son.
Ooh, wow, that's a good reference.
Damn.
Jesus Christ.
Getting deep in it. This episode has SEC speed.
Yeah, this
Well, I mean,
SEC network of podcasts right now of
It
horror
is
movies.
it's the magical time of year where college football's happened again.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Did you watch? I know Josh is a Tennessee fan.
I am.
Sorry to turn off
I
everybody.
think all
else.
three of us are.
Oh yeah.
Oh, I know all three of
Did
us
you guys
are.
watch
so-
any of that E ETSU debacle?
I've watched it twice.
I only watched the highlights, so I just wanted to see the goodness in the world that day, and that's all I wanted to see.
I have a disease where I watch 24-hour Joe Bob Briggs marathons and 24-hour SEC Saturday football.
Oh my God, just exclusively SEC? You don't get out of the realm.
No,
of
but
that?
I mean, I was on vacation and I found a sports bar, which this place was crazy and had AstroTurf for flooring. I found a sports bar, and while everybody else
Because you want a floor in a bar, you want
Yeah.
somewhere that'll sop everything.
that's
up.
right.
Yeah.
And
Yeah, just-
instead of enjoying my last day on the beach, I watched all day like Vandy games.
Oh God.
boy.
Watched it all. Just sat there, not drinking, nothing good to eat.
Oh, yeah, 'cause you're
that's
a
a disease.
You're a Soberman now.
Soberman. I like that one. I like that better
Ken
than
Soberman.
than a horrible recovering person.
Yeah,
That does seem
with me.
better.
I'll rationalize for you. You don't even have to think about it.
It sounds a lot more regal than being miserable.
Yeah.
The filling.
Instead of hitting rock bottom, I'm a Soberman.
Feels like that should come with a jacket.
Yeah, I need a leather jacket.
I don't know if I could be in a bar with AstroTurf and not like just go, I gotta have at least 12 beers.
So,
Light beers.
It's a test. And what I did instead was I had a shrimp po' boy,
Ooh.
which I'm pretty certain was clam strips in Thousand Island sauce. Not great, Bob.
That bothers me. That bothers me just by you saying that. Clam strips in Thousand Island sauce?
It was real bad.
If it makes you feel any better, like just before this, I stopped to get a coffee because I was feeling a little sluggish, and
Happens that way.
Like you do.
yeah, so I pop in into the McDonald's, the Mickey D's, because I also wanted a fish sandwich,
And a fish sandwich. Fish au filet.
filet of fish.
Filet
yeah,
of
sorry.
fish, sorry.
Get it right. McFish.
Yeah, I'll never be a spokesperson with this type of.
And they did the thing that I can't fucking stand, which is like they go to pour my coffee and hand it to me, and it's the orange decaf pot, but it's the only pot that they have. It was like, hey, is that regular or decaf? And you're like, oh, it's just regular and a decaf thing. And I'm like, I think you're fucking lying to me. Because I've worked at a McDonald's. And you know
Yeah.
what you do in that situation? You fucking lie to them.
Yeah.
Oh God, I've worked.
And
at
I'm not feeling the buzz. I think they got me.
So you got a McDonald's pedigree. You've got a Burger King pedigree.
got a Burger King
I have
pedigree.
a Taco Bell pedigree.
Wow. Oh, we got it.
The holy triumvirate.
Yeah, that's right. I was fired after 2 days.
Oh, geez.
Damn. What'd you do?
This is a long time ago, so I don't remember.
Statute of
And-
limitations.
Could you give us the year?
Let's see. I think I was 19, which is honestly too old to be working at a Taco Bell.
I was going to, unless you're a manager, yeah.
yeah.
Unless you're at least shift leader.
I was just about to ask you whether it was pre or post Crunchwrap Supreme, but this is way. You could probably still get a Cholito.
I think
at
I
that
was
point.
I think I was
Chilito.
fired. I think I was fired for being on ecstasy.
Oh, wow.
I think I was like smoking menthols and rubbing my own nipples.
That sounds right. That sounds right.
Not a great situation.
But also fast food places, and if any of y'all work at fast food places, it's totally fine, especially if you're, if you
Make ends meet however you got
Yeah,
to.
maybe
unless
just-
you used to star on the Cosby Show, it's fine.
Yeah, oh, God, that poor guy.
Whatever.
He's just trying to make a little bit of extra money. And everybody came in there and went,
Man,
you're fat.
man.
You're fat and washed up.
I sort of feel bad for him, but I don't because I read an article last night about how
Probably the best thing that's happened to him.
it kind of is like what happened was
Yeah, because I forgot who he was.
He's Elvin, you idiot.
I know he's Elvin, but it's like one of those deals where if I was waiting in line, I would look at him and go, I know you're from somewhere. And he goes, do you? And I go, yeah, I can't remember where. Anyway, goodbye.
Well,
Thank
what
you.
could be worse? Rudy's probably on a pole somewhere.
Boy, is Rudy still alive?
Rudy's still alive. She was in like some of those the asylum action type movies.
Is Rudy Raven Simone?
No, it's Keisha Knight Pulliam.
Okay, we better stop before I really step in it.
But no, apparently what happened to Elvin was he was doing. Gonna let it breathe. But no, Elvin was doing fine, and then all this Bill Cosby unpleasantness happened.
Yeah, that's
so
kinda-
nobody bought the syndication rights for the Cosby Show. So
Yeah.
all of his was it the money that they send to actors?
Residuals.
There we go. That all dried up, and he says like, well, I got to do something. So he's been working at fucking Whole Foods for 15 months.
Trader Joe's.
Whatever.
It was Trader Joe's.
Okay.
And he quit because so many people gave him shit.
Yeah.
And the Trader Joe's people went, hey, Elvin, you come back anytime you want. You're always going to have a job.
That's
Yeah.
right.
He said,
But Tyler
"Fuck you."
Perry made him a better offer. So,
Yeah, well, I didn't realize, like, whenever I watched
which by the way, hey Tyler Perry, I work a day job too.
hey,
I'm available.
friend of the show, friend of your show, actually, Michael Hampton.
That's right.
John.
He's
Friend of Food Court.
practically a member of Food Court.
Yes, he's
He's a
practically
food
member-
courtesan.
He's been on almost every episode I have listened to.
That's right. Yes.
And he was in a Tyler Perry movie. He was in
right.
Medea's Boo.
That's fucking great.
Sorry.
Yeah, no,
so
no,
stupid.
because that's a horror movie, and we got to get him on here to talk about it.
Oh, that's true. Yeah, let's not watch it, though.
Yeah.
Because it does not look like something we either would remotely like.
Yeah.
Man, Rudy, I just Googled her. What she looks like now. Foxy as fuck.
May I? This
Yes.
is great for an audio medium.
Oh, it is. Look at
Hey,
that.
goodness gracious!
Everybody pull out your phone right now and start Googling Rudy from Cosby Show today.
Man.
be careful when googling Cosby.
Yeah. You might want to use incognito mode.
Yeah.
Just a
No,
word
no,
to
look
the
at
wise.
this.
I
There's her in a
really
bikini.
wish I had heard about incognito mode before I did all of those horrible things.
Damn.
What's
Yeah,
going on here?
That's Rudy in a bikini nowadays.
this is good radio.
Yeah.
Yes, it really is.
You know who had a very...
I've got a Huxta boner now.
No, you know what?
I got a boner to Hux.
Get you to hux this dick. Now, and we took it too far.
There,
Yeah, we
it's
always
always
do.
the last one.
You know who had like a really hot phase and then went south so fast? Lisa Bonet.
Oh,
She did age
She-
quickly.
when her and Lenny Kravitz started boning, I feel like that is like two mirror universe versions of people touching each other and
Yeah.
like ripped open the space time
It's like
continuum.
the same matter can't exist in the same space.
It also they must
A
be
la Time
they
Cop.
must be horrible narcissists if they
Possibly.
just basically want to fuck themselves.
I like to imagine that Lenny Kravitz was taking something from Lisa Bonet.
Yeah.
Oh, you'd be
it
like
seemed
stealing her aura or
Yes.
something? Yeah, okay.
Because the more famous he got, the less famous and
Right.
fucking more shriveled she got.
And yeah, so as he's aging, there's a picture of Lisa Bonet in the attic, suddenly becoming decrepit.
Yeah. It's just it's a Cosby Show box set that is slowly turning into an Edison wax cylinder.
Lisa Bonet is now married to Aquaman, so maybe
Really?
she's sucking youth from people.
Yeah, well, it's not working on him because he's a Greek god.
Yeah, well, he's a Dothraki god.
Oh, he is a Dothraki. Oh, that is him. Yeah.
yeah.
I don't put two and two together a lot.
I know. Boogers, ghosts, and goblins. Where you get a movie description that isn't the movie.
That's sort of something I noticed.
Hey, remember that thing? Anyway, biscuits are fun.
I felt that way when I watched Wrong Turn also, which is a movie that I hated, but I've watched probably 6 times.
When I first met Josh, I tried to get a shadow campaign going because there are too many Joshes in our friend group.
Yes.
I agree. That's the reason why I go by Joshua a lot.
Well, Josh should just be Goober.
I don't know if I particularly like Goober.
I think if you had a different accent, we could call you Goober and not feel bad about it.
Let's
But,
meet.
like,
Yeah.
I could have
Seeing as
gone
he-
Gomer.
I'll tell you what, if I get one of those hats that Jughead in the Archie comics wore,
Yeah.
I'll give it a damn good consideration.
Okay, let's talk. Let's workshop some other nicknames. How would you feel about Big Gulp?
Big Gulp.
That's the nickname I tried to
almost-
give myself.
Big gulp.
Big Gulp.
See, the problem is
Well, it's a big gulp.
the problem is we don't have 7-Elevens around here, so it's not going to take.
But we all have TV though.
We all have TV,
I mean,
yeah.
I knew more about like New York culture than I did my own culture growing up because
that's
I just sat in front of a goddamn tube.
This is a weird wrinkle in culture that I found. My kid brother, when I saw him a couple of weekends ago, was explaining to me that in England the red Solo cup doesn't exist. Like they just don't have them.
Say what?
Yeah, just they've got cups, they've got paper cups like that, but they're not.
They
like
drink
from-
only from Steins.
Yes.
chalices.
Flutes.
Yeah.
But they don't have those over there. Like their cups are different. So the teenagers, of course, all love, and college age kids love American culture. So they see like fucking frat house movies, and everybody's drinking out of these red Solo
Yeah,
cups.
beer pong and stuff.
Yeah. So there is an underground market to a certain extent. It's not illegal or anything like that, but people putting stacks of red Solo cups up on the UK eBay and selling them for like $20-$30.
Cancel this podcast. We
Yeah.
have a new business model.
Hey, dude, if we could just get into the Solo Cup wholesale manufacturing,
Yeah.
we could be rich.
I have
We could
terrible news. They're already manufactured en masse
but no,
by
I'm
a
talking
company called Solo.
I said if we get in wholesale.
Oh,
so
okay,
we go
gotcha.
in, we buy large bulk quantities.
Oh, so you mean like going to Big Lots? Got
Basically,
it.
nailed it.
I'll go with you right now.
Okay.
You got to drive, though. Sorry.
Oh, shit. And I got a smaller car. We're
I was
not
going to say,
able
who's
to load
going
up enough.
Who's going to fucking drive to England?
I think the channel goes under the Atlantic, or is it the Pacific? I don't even know.
No, we just need to get over it.
We're going to need a 4x4. That's for damn Skippy.
I'll tell you what, we need a boat big enough to hold my car.
Man, I always say if I'm flying to England, we better stop in Hawaii. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I want to see some of them coconut bra girls.
Hell yeah.
We
Get
do
laid.
have, we have a viewership in England.
Yeah, well, we've got listeners.
Or
in England. I don't know
listenership. Yeah, I don't.
I'm
I don't know
glad
if they're
you have a
looking-
viewership so they can see that picture we were looking at on
Yes,
this,
oh,
on this
yeah.
podcast.
Rudy. Rudy.
No, we got a dude in England that I know has communicated
He's
with
communicated to us, yeah. I haven't heard from him in a while.
You sure he doesn't just have one of those, like, sometimes Josh will
Like one
sound
of
so
those
southern
VPNs?
that he'll sound British?
What?
Or Welsh, maybe?
Hell,
don't
I'll
think
take
that's
it.
ever been a
I like that. I kind of like it.
You need to go to England because this accent that has been a saddlebag on you your entire life, you will be Matthew McConaughey.
Oh,
over
I'll tell you
there.
right now, it has not been a saddlebag since I moved to these very generic cities like
Uh-huh.
Nashville, Tennessee, because hardly anybody is Southern from here.
That's
so
true.
whenever they see me, I am either a novelty or sound sexy.
Yeah.
And either way,
both.
And either way, it sometimes helps me out with the ladies.
I will go as far as
Has
say
helped
I
me
was
out with
I was in up in the Great White North of Ohio last weekend.
Ooh.
And
Godless country. Yes.
very godless because like I opened Tinder just to see what was what, and my statistics went through the fucking roof.
Wow.
Thank
Yeah.
you.
Yeah.
Thank you, Tinder.
Goddamn right.
Let's go to Ohio right now.
Yeah.
Low standards. I was talking to one gal, and I was like, "Hey, man, I'm leaving back for Tennessee tomorrow. So if we're gonna do something, we gotta do it like in 20 minutes."
Say
Right,
what?
right.
I missed
then.
this whole Tinder thing, so you just blew my mind.
Yeah.
It's
It's weird, man.
Yeah, it. Trust me, it's not my fucking strong suit. It's not it's not what I'm good at, but it's where I was. And we could just doing the standard issue talking. Nothing ever became of it, but she did say, I asked her, I was like, so what the fuck do you do in Ohio? Because it wasn't like in a major city. I was about an hour north of fucking Dayton.
That's where the college is, right? Or what? A
Dayton?
college.
I don't know. I don't know what the hell's in Dayton. Just
Okay,
Dayton. But I'm out like in the sticks. So I asked, I was like, so
This
what?
is E Dayton, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Hey,
Oh, you.
I'm
see what
sorry.
you did there.
I'm sorry.
That's
But she responded.
tapping out. Tapping out.
Her response was like, there's not really a lot to do. Some people get into like drugs and heroin and shit like that. And I thought that was a joke. And she's like, no, really, like we enjoy doing pills and heroin out here a lot because we're bored as fuck. And I was like, ooh, it's so 20 minutes.
The clock is running,
Yeah.
sweetheart.
All I'm saying is, if you want to see,
I got something pill-sized for you.
Yeah, exactly.
if you want to fuck a guy with shoes,
Yeah.
We'd be just
the
wearing
clock is ticking.
their own shoes or just
She's
wanna
going to
fuck
stick
guy?
a shoe
Well,
in your what? God.
shoehorning it in.
Tinder's
Yes.
weird, man.
It is very odd. It's very odd.
This has ended up as a joke in my act, so I'm trying. If you've heard me do a stand up, I'm sorry, but there was a situation where I was going to hook up with this lady on Tinder, and again we were kind of pressed for time, and she was like, "Okay, it's fine. I'm just not getting off of work. Maybe you'll think the work uniform is sexy." And I was like, "Ha ha 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 ha." And in my head, I'm thinking, maybe she's a maid. That's a lot to hope for.
Oh, no.
But worst case scenario, like maybe a McDonald's outfit. That could be sexy.
Yes.
Under
yeah,
the
they
right
just have a
circumstances.
great sense of humor. She gets
Yes.
there wearing
She comes there and she's a beekeeper or dog catcher.
I give it 3 guesses.
Oh, dear.
You did
God.
say 2 of them already.
Prison warden?
I
Prison,
kinda-
prison,
All right,
prison
All right,
guard.
I'll give
prison
you each
guard.
one guess.
Okay, by
you
the
got
way,
it.
We've
I
heard the
can't
joke
remember
already.
the joke. I've heard the joke, but I
Okay.
can't remember what it is. So we've said beekeeper, dog catcher, which is that a uniform? Is that
I'm stupid.
That's an old-timey reference, too. It's basically just a butterfly net and a polo shirt, I guess. Uniform. Oh, I know what it is. I'm not guessing. Go ahead.
Locker room shoe salesman.
Birthday clown.
As soon as I- Oh, we could just do the rest of the podcast.
That's it.
Yeah.
This has been Boogers Ghosts and Goblins. You're not topping Tinder date with a birthday clown.
Okay, and here's the thing. Here's the thing. It put me in a real weird position because I understand that I'm already doing something quasi-immoral and sketchy. But is it mean to ask a birthday clown to wash all their shit off before you fuck them? Because here's the thing.
And it's kink shaming, and you're
Well,
wrong.
no, because here's my thing. Not only are you assuming that they're kind of gross after a long shift of fucking making balloon animals, but you're kind of also asking them to wash away everything they are as a person.
Yeah, you can't do that, Rob.
By the way, if your identity is a birthday clown, if you identify as birthday clown, then maybe you could, I don't know, tactfully go, hey, I just want to know what's underneath all that makeup. I want to know the real you, and I want to fuck it, and then I would like you to leave.
So you didn't want to go with the whole gear on?
No. I politely said is like, you could take a shower.
I would have been.
Then you did.
Then it didn't end up happening, but whatever. Okay. But that was for other reasons.
This is a tragedy on so many levels now.
But she was more than, she was like, hey, I'll fuck you as a clown.
Well, it's hard to... tone is very difficult to deliver over text. But yes, she
and
was
while wearing a red honky nose.
Yeah, that's true.
But no, she legitimately was a birthday clown. She legitimately was just coming from a fucking gig.
And she was heading to a fucking gig.
And I don't know if she was going to fuck a gig, but yeah, it happened.
Well, it would be kind of neat.
It didn't happen again,
It would be kind of neat after ejaculate comes from your body that somebody reaches over to their birthday clown outfit and pulls out
40 fucking scarves.
Yeah, all tied together. They clean it up. That'd be kind of neat. And then you'd be like, hey, I'm awful thirsty. Can you get me a glass of water? And they just come back with a bucket full of confetti and hit you in the face with it.
When you say squirter, you just mean that flower on the
flower. That would be nice too.
Oddly enough, when I finished, I just sprayed her down with a seltzer bottle full of my seed.
Oh dear.
I have, because of my obsession with antenna TV throughout most of my life, I watched I think it might have been back as far back as like the Ricky Lake show.
Damn.
And they
the first Ricky Lake show.
Yes. Yeah. Well, maybe the second.
Okay.
Because the second one was a talk show also, right?
Yeah.
Or maybe the first one because it was more exploitive.
Yeah, she did like a Jerry Springer show for like 10 years and then tried to do The View.
It's the Jerry Springer one.
Okay.
Definitely Jerry Springer
Is this
one.
Big Ricky or like post-lap band Ricky?
Fluctuating Ricky. Because she kind of did the Oprah thing on that show. She would lose and gain weight at a tremendous
gastroenteric bypass surgery.
Yeah. Oh, okay. Yeah, well, that makes sense now.
That's the miracle diet.
My stomach holds a thimble.
Yeah. She had like a whole episode to weird fetishes.
Yeah.
And one of them was clown fucking. And it's enough to where I was like, as soon as I get to the internet one day, I'm going to remember this. And I'm going to see what the big deal is. And that's how I know I can't fuck a clown.
Oh.
Yeah.
Is because I watched a very brief amount of clown sex. And they even had the sound effects and everything, but there was people hardcore fucking each other. But it was going like, and like when the guy pulled out or something, it'd be like,
wow.
This was on television?
No, that
Telling
part
you.
wasn't. It was on my internet.
You went
Porn,
and did further
horror
research.
movies, your childhood messes you up.
It really does.
Oh yeah.
Really fucking does.
Nobody goes into the fucking media because we've got our shit together.
That's true.
No, and also I just like to explore the unexplored.
Pennywise the porn clown.
A little pornography, a little fucking what's his name's butthole. It's fine.
Yeah, what's his name?
From Deliverance.
Yes,
Ned Beatty.
Ned Beatty.
Ned Beatty's asshole.
Yeah.
He just pointed at Josh and said, "What's his name?"
Butthole. That's
And
right.
I was like,
wait a
"That
minute."
checks out."
Yeah, that's true.
A little Josh's butthole.
Well,
Which, speaking of, I think it is time to bring back a long forgotten tradition. Time for us to play the game sensation that's sweeping the nation.
Before we do this, there's only 3 characters.
Not there's all those other nuns that were technically fake.
There was the bum from Mulholland Drive.
Don't get me wrong. One of us is fucking a nun, but
Yeah, I would imagine maybe.
no.
Okay, go
Okay,
ahead.
I guess we don't have to.
Well, we don't have to. We're gonna
We've
play-
gone on a streak of not doing it.
I'm not
so-
doing it, but
Got to
mainly
bring your
because-
segment back, boy.
That's
That's
okay.
what
We
makes
can
people feel safe.
We could try to do it, but I have a feeling we're all going to end up either killing or fucking the same person.
All right, let's see. It's time to play.
What are we playing, Rob?
Fuck!
Mary
Machete. We still got it.
You know the rules.
Okay, yeah. All right. Now, I don't think Josh is allowed to fuck the person he thinks is a child.
Yeah, well,
So you're going to have to make a tough decision.
Well, no, okay. Well, here's my thing. I don't think she was a child. Because I think if we look it up, we're going to find out she's 35.
Yeah, she's old. But I still don't want to fuck nor marry this woman.
No.
Because she's like scary. Taissa Farmer's just scary, and she looks a lot like her mom. I wouldn't be able to get that out of my head. So I'm going to machete Taissa Farmer.
Oh, cool. I like that.
Curveball. I am going to marry Damian Bashir, Bob the Mexican, because I really like his voice.
Yeah, I can see that soothing you to sleep.
He's pretty. I mean, yeah, he's just a strong,
your head
stern man.
Just nestled in his chest hair.
That Exorcist silhouette. I mean, that's just that guy. He could take care of me. He had a very nice, like 5-piece suit going on at
Broad
all
shoulders.
times.
Just leans in and whispers.
And then I'm just gonna
Vaya
make some
con Dios.
sweet hate to. Yeah, that's right. I mean, see, maybe I should fuck him. Gosh, but I don't want to. I don't want to marry Frenchie though.
2 days at Taco Bell has changed you.
Maybe so. I'm going. You know what? I'm going to marry the bum from Mole. I'm going to fuck
Wait, who's the bum from Mulholland Drive?
The nun.
the nun, the scary nun.
The evil nun.
Oh, okay. I didn't know that.
I'm gonna make hate to Frenchie.
Okay,
He was spry.
he was.
I'm going to marry Bob the Mexican, and I'm going to machete Taissa Farmiga, who I think is a pretty good actress, but she got the job because her mom's Vera Farmiga. Get out of here.
Yeah. I mean, and also she looks like a child.
Okay,
So-
that's valid. So you want to murder children? Got it.
I haven't said anything, Rob.
Trying to find a way to put this because you keep saying she looks like a child, which I don't think she does.
That's fine.
I think she looks like a proper
perception
adult.
is whatever you want to.
Look, we get it. You don't want to fuck any clowns or kids. Jeez.
Thank you. Probably will take my run at Thais or whatever, just because I think fucking her from behind and seeing that weird pentagram on her back.
That is
that'd
hot.
You put it
that'd
that
be
way.
dope. And this is gonna sound. This is Rob Haynes opening up. I like a nice strong shoulder blade on a gal. Nice, nicely put together, chiseled shoulder blade. I don't know why. I like shoulder blades. I like a good neck.
This podcast is just about sharing, really. It has nothing to do with anything but sharing.
He's
Yeah.
the Tarantino of shoulder blades and necks. When you finally make your classic movie, it's just Uma Thurman's shoulder blades and neck.
Yeah. Just slut. No, I'm not gonna.
Yeah.
Who gets the axe or machete, as it were?
Well, you can move the marriage.
No. Well, okay. You know what? If I'm going to marry somebody, as much as I hate him, I'm going to marry Frenchie. Because he's the only one in that movie that seems to have, like, his shit kind of together. He's got that box he lives in. He's got all those fucking goats and shit. Like, he's a provider.
He's been in a Paul Verhoeven movie. That's cool.
That means something. That's certainly not nothing. And he's willing to, like, you know, at the end of the movie, he's like, I'm going to go be a tomato farmer. And clearly he lives for another 20 or so years, which means he could, you know.
He lives long enough to spawn a franchise
Goddamn
Really did.
right.
Yeah.
of very mediocre films.
Yeah.
This is my favorite of all those movies, by the way.
These
And
are,
if nothing else,
What?
if we have to
Yeah.
if we have to live together in our marital bed, that means for at least 20 years I can make his fucking life miserable for the amount of time that he made me miserable during
You make
this
an
fucking
excellent
movie.
point, because Bob the Mexican would just divorce me immediately.
He would.
He
But-
was, yeah.
Then he'd be
1 year's
defrocked,
worth
but-
of marriage with him.
That's true.
Well, no, because if you marry Bob the fucking Mexican, that means he's gonna have to leave the church. That's a hell of a.
I think it's worth it for a lifetime of swarthy goodness.
That is, yes. I wish I had a better tagline than dub, dub, dub. Yes. That's usually my tagline.
See, Goober fits.
And
It does a little bit better than I would like to admit, but I'm not going to answer to it. I'm never going to answer to it.
Neither Big Goober nor Big Gulp.
Big Gulp's a little different.
Big Gulp Lewis.
what about pecan roll?
Pecan log.
If you call me Honey Bun, I might have taken it. I don't like
Pecan
that.
pie.
Pecan.
Sugar.
Pecan.
But just to bring it to a close, and if I murder anybody, I'm gonna murder the priest because he did absolutely fucking nothing in this movie.
Little to nothing.
Got bit in the eye by a snake.
Yeah.
Okay, he didn't.
Which it wouldn't have happened if he'd have fucking taken care of business earlier in the movie.
TCO beat it. Yeah.
You're up, pecan log.
It's going to be difficult for me.
All right.
Every part of it's going to be difficult for me. If I'm going to fuck somebody, the girl that hung herself at the beginning.
Yeah.
Big fat lips.
Nice form.
And she's a nun, like a full blown nun.
Well, yeah, but now she's dead.
And she's obviously into
Okay, yeah. So are we talking pre or post?
She's obviously
I'm
into the
talking
whole
about-
autoerotic asphyxiation
Yeah,
thing.
so that's cool.
Make sure you have a lemon wedge.
The fuck's the lemon wedge for?
Just spray it in her
I'm
eyes.
I'm revealing too much.
No,
you put the lemon in your mouth, and when you start to die, you'll bite down on it and it'll wake you up.
Oh.
I'm
That about a bitch.
If my mom listens to
What?
this,
Oh, I thought you would be like, my mom told me. Oh, Jesus.
What was that?
This is
Mommy
about
dearest.
sharing. Yeah.
Is in the March 12th edition of Good Housekeeping,
That's right.
19 Tickety 2.
you know that's in Cosmo now. You get a lemon wedge.
I'm going to fuck the live one.
Okay.
The one that's alive.
All right.
Okay. She wasn't alive very long.
You're puritanical piece of shit.
Thank you. I definitely killing Frenchie. I just didn't like him.
Yeah.
I just
I
didn't
thought
fucking
he
like him
wasn't
one
that
bit.
bad. Okay.
He's-
Okay,
valid.
if I could, if
He
you
was
want me to
awful.
pass by that.
He's fucking French and Canadian. That's the two worst things you can be.
Okay, I won't kill Frenchie. I'll spare him.
Okay.
Who I am going to kill is a scene that you missed in the bar. The barkeeper that was
Yeah.
just like, hey, you seeing people crying over there? It's because their daughter just committed suicide at the age of 12.
He was dreadful also.
Yeah, he wasn't very good, so kill him. And he also just turned a blind eye while there was a loaded fucking shotgun up on the wall.
Yeah.
And Frenchie just grabbed that motherfucker and went and played Ash, a very poor Ash. Marriage.
All right.
That's the part that's going to be
Sacred.
real tricky.
Bob the Mexican will never divorce you.
Bob Mexican,
If we're going to keep being stereotypical assholes.
Yeah. I don't know. I mean, there's not very marriage-like qualities on any of these people.
You could marry that Vlad the Impaler type dude.
That would be nice. Or any of those Crusaders.
Those
get you all hot and
Crusaders
bothered?
were amazing.
Yeah.
That's who you
that-
should
that
be.
kinda like
That's who you should be
turbo-masculine-
bumping uglies with.
Yeah. Vlad the Impaler. I'm definitely going to marry him just because he's got goals.
Yeah.
And he also keeps a journal of all his shit.
He
which
raised
that's kinda
Cthulhu
cool.
from the blood of nuns.
Yeah. And
That's getting shit done.
Yeah, he had him hung.
Think
strung
what he
up.
would do on your wedding night.
He could raise.
Think of what he
something.
wouldn't do.
Yeah, raise something from the blood of nuns. Yeah, that's what I'd do. I was hoping it'd be more creative. It just wouldn't come.
No,
out
yours
together.
was
Yeah,
actually
that's
that's very straightforward. I'm,
Yeah, it's
I'm
very
for
straightforward.
it.
I just get married and then you die.
Yeah.
Or you kill. You kill. That's right.
No.
There's
Some
a
of us.
bumper sticker. Fuck, marry, then you kill.
Then you die.
Yeah. Ain't life a bitch.
But yeah, it's going to be about that time. Jon Burr, thank you for being on the show.
Always a pleasure.
What do you want to plug? Where can we find you? Where can we hear your
Wait,
dulcet
should we give a
tones?
recommendation? Should we recommend this movie to people?
Oh, we should give a recommendation, and the answer is no.
Okay,
I
I'll
say
I'll
no.
say it's a good way to while away 90 minutes if you're into some kind of, silly Billy horror.
I will go so far as to say I'll retract that. Wait till it's at Redbox, or you can get it for less than $3, and then get like super duper stoned. Like it's very visually pretty.
If you need a ride to go get drug tested, you can go see this movie and then trick your friend into taking you to get drug tested. You might have to be on his podcast afterwards, but if all those things fall into place, very worthwhile.
Yeah, it works out. I'll say if you're a young fella that wants to take out a young lady that goes, "Ooh, I'm afraid of scary movies
A lot
and
of
all
jump
this stuff,"
scares.
just go, "Hey, let's go on a Friday night to this," because it's not going to torment you in your sleep. It's not going to be like one of those things where you come back and you're like, I can't get the side of the nun out of my head, because there was even like younger people behind us that just you didn't even hear them.
Old Goober
care.
sure is conscientious, isn't he?
Yeah,
Rob?
and
I try
I
to
would
take
also
care
go
of
as far as say I think that makes you a liar, sir, because there's no story really, but it's very visually creepy and very jump scary.
Yeah.
I could easily see this getting stuck in like someone's head.
Really, I thought it was
Yeah.
just like a date movie, like one of those.
No, but yeah, that's what you want on a date movie is like the
Is
fucking
her to be creeped out.
kinda.
Okay, cool.
Got it.
Filed away.
Rob's dating advice is killer.
Creep them out as quickly as possible, then have dessert.
All right. No, yeah, okay. Sorry. Apparently, I'm a piece of shit.
So yeah, I mean, I would recommend it for that, or like you said, Rob, like under $3 or Redbox or something that where you could pause it and go poop or something.
Yeah.
It's definitely not one that you want to hold back a poop.
Yeah, which is why I feel okay missing the fucking
You missed the
the
best part,
Dio
though.
video in the middle.
Dude,
You
it was
really
so
did.
Good. That was so fucking good.
Hallowed be
I
Thy
know-
Name started playing.
It was excellent.
But yeah. But yeah, where can we find young Jon Burr?
Foodcourtmoviepodcast.com. How I Became the Bomb.com, my band that puts out an album in 2 months.
Holy shit.
And finally, FastBreakBreakfast.com, another podcast I do about Basketball.
The National Basketball Association. When does
That's
that
right.
come back?
Too soon.
Okay.
Yes.
No, I get excited because it comes back around the same time hockey comes back,
Yep.
and that's getting close.
I know. I want to start a hockey podcast. God help me. But
If
I'm
I
not
would-
going to do it.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's
I'm
just so much work.
podcasted out.
That's so much work.
Automatically went, I wish I knew more about hockey, and you went, I don't want to do it. And I was like, thank God. I only have so much mental capacity.
Well, the reason I don't play like fantasy baseball or hockey, which are the only two sports that I care enough about that I would actually try, is there's just so many goddamn games.
Oh, yeah.
Every other day type stuff.
Yeah. But anywho, if you like us in your ear holes, do us a favor. Go ahead and give us a review or a subscribe or any kind of digital love at whatever podcast catcher you prefer that you're listening to right now. Be it your iTunes, your Spotify's, your some other weird shit that I'm unaware of.
Ohio Tinder.
Ohio Tinder. And if you're on Ohio, go ahead and swipe right, baby. And you can find us on all the social medias at Letters from Camp Blood on Instagram, on Facebook, Twitter, or at Blood Camper, or if you want to send us, your clown-related nude pictures, feel free to send those to lettersfromcampblood@gmail.com.
Yeah, I agree. I agree with every bit of that. Or you could just tag us in your Instagram posts of your sexy clown stuff or not sexy clown stuff. And you can look me up at the Josh from TN on all social medias. I'm not on Facebook anymore. Actually, I am, but I never check it. Haven't checked it in probably 3 or 4 months.
I'm going to
Have no
make
desire.
Josh a Facebook that's just called Boogers, Ghosts, and Goblins.
Kind of want that. Dude, you wouldn't believe how much now I just want to do a solo podcast called Boogers, Ghosts, and Goblins.
I would be a
I would
devoted
listen to
listener.
I would listen every goddamn day.
Oh, boy.
You
But I'm afraid if I sit down by myself and just start talking into the ether, it'll get weirder than whenever we just bounce off of each other. Because we've gotten weird a couple times.
Yeah, but I think we enter a strange feedback loop, and it gets stranger and stranger and stranger, and that's
Maybe
beautiful. That's a beautiful thing when it's just you ranting into the night. It's not pretty. I've tried it. No, because I tried it. I tried to do like a solo podcast by myself. I'm like, this is fucking bad.
Yeah, I guess whenever you
Nobody
stare
wants
into the
to-
void,
Yeah.
it stares back at you.
Nobody wants to hear about Josh's cat's butthole and why it makes me think things. Anywho, I'm at Rob Haynes, ROBHAYNES, Instagram, Twitter, and all the other bullshit. Thanks very much for being here, John. Thanks very much for being here, listener. And good night and good luck.
Ta-ta.